Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Julie. I just wanted to make a video this morning and check in with you all, see how you're all doing. Oh, there's this basket right here. There's no room in this trailer to put anything. I just wanted to make a video. Hold on. I had to move this banana basket that was digging into my hip. I just wanted to make a video and see how you're all doing. I haven't made a video in over a week. We've been out of town. We went to Florida. We went back home. And, just being back was so nice. I mean, I got to see the ocean. I got to see green grass. I got to see big billowing green trees because, trees are my special interest. I love all trees. All things trees. Green trees, any type of color of tree. I just think trees are essential to this planet because they're living human. They're living things. I mean, they create oxygen, carbon dioxide. Did you know, fun fact, don't sleep under a tree at night because at night they give out carbon dioxide, and during the day, they give out oxygen. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. But I read somewhere something about don't sleep under a tree at night because they give out carbon dioxide. But anyway, it was just nice to be home and to see people. I saw a couple of my friends because, I don't have any friends out here in Arizona. And I gotta be honest with you, it was so nice to be out and away and back home again. Home on Earth. And coming back to Arizona and to this travel trailer has got me so down in the dumps. And I think it's an autism thing, but my mood plays a huge part in the environment. And I know that there's that people say, I've heard people say, and it is kind of the truth that, your happiness is within. So it shouldn't matter where you are in order to feel happy. It should be, it should be coming within you. And that's true. But for me, also though, my environment plays a huge role in my mood, in my mindset. And being back here in this travel trailer, back in the desert environment, has just brought me so down in the dumps. I just loved, and when we were home in Florida, it was just absolutely a wonderful time. I got to see a humongous rainstorm. We were visiting a friend at their home, and we were sitting out in the back porch next to their pool, and it started getting a cool breeze started flowing through, and I looked at the sky and I was like, yep, here we go, afternoon thunderstorms, just like old times. And sure enough, the sky turned a little bit dark and just this big downpour of rain and thunder. It was, and I think there was lightning over, but it was just so awesome to just be sitting in that porch and listening to the rain and feeling that cold, rainy breeze on my skin and just smelling the rain too. Because the rain brings it's water from heaven. It is. And it just has such a wonderful smell to it. So I got to experience a rainstorm again. And we went to a few of the lakes that are in town, and we drove around them and got out, and I walked in the grass with my bare feet. I made a short, and everyone probably thought it was a little strange, but it's grounding. I was grounding myself in the grass, and I was surrounded by trees, and everything was amazing about the trip. Saw lots of family, saw my friends, went out to dinners, just your regular vacation-y type stuff. So now we're back in Arizona, and oh, let me tell you about the flight. So nothing really exciting about the flights, other than just being on an airplane again after 3 years. I have to tell you, I did pretty good. I didn't feel panicky. I just felt uncomfortable a lot because it seemed like going to Florida and coming back from Florida, there was a lot of turbulence, and I think it's just because there's so much weather going on in the United States, especially in the central part. And because we had a layover, for some reason my husband picked the strangest flight plan on the way home. We went from Florida to Detroit, and then from Detroit to Phoenix. And the ride from Detroit to Phoenix was the bumpiest ride other than flying into Chicago. I don't know if any of you have ever flown into Chicago, but you better buckle up because it is a bumpy ride flying into Chicago. But it felt like that almost halfway through our flight coming from Detroit to Phoenix. And it was interesting because I turned the news on the next day after we got home yesterday, and the news was talking about torrential tornadoes and rainfall in the central part of the United States. And I was like, well, gee, I could have told you that because we flew through it. I'm pretty sure we flew over it because it was just, oh, it was something. And my ear still isn't back to normal yet. My ear got blocked and I had a lot of sharp pain in it from the cabin pressure. But overall, I did pretty good on the plane. Didn't freak out. Didn't have to call the flight attendants over or anything like that. So everything went pretty good. I'm just right now dealing with my autism, my autistic self. And I'm kind of in a shutdown mode. My husband and I, we had a little squabble yesterday. I mean, just a little disagreement. But that seemed to have just sent me into this, on top of just being back and because, I'm not too much of a fan of Arizona, if you haven't noticed already. But just being back in this environment and everything else, I'm kind of in a shutdown mode a little bit, where I just don't really feel like talking when there's people around me. And I bought a skew of yarn yesterday, and so it's this really pretty green blend, and the yarn is real soft. So I made my dad a hat, a beanie, for Father's Day yesterday, and got him a card. And so I've been working on just crocheting. That's what I've been doing. And I plan on, let's see, tomorrow's Sunday. So I do plan on starting the Book of Ruth, our Bible study, this coming week. I just don't know what day it's going to be because I do have some other things I have to take care of before I start that study. I have some medical things that I have to fill out, and I'll be so glad when I don't have to deal with doctors all the time. I'm trying to feel better. I'm trying to get better. And you know what? I can tell you this much right now. My environment does play a huge role in my well-being. Because when we were home in Florida, I still had the normal aches and pains. My autism isn't going anywhere, obviously. But I just felt this wellness in my soul being in that environment. And when I'm out here, it's like there's something off in my soul. Like something just doesn't feel connected. I'm not connected to my environment at all. And so I do know that a lot of what I go through as far as my chronic illness and stuff like that, the environment does play a huge role in it because it just does. I can feel it. So I am going to start that study in this coming week. And we are going to begin reading our book again. And it's weird because I can only make videos when I'm home alone. even if my husband's off doing his own thing, I cannot make videos when he's here because I just feel weird. I feel like if he's listening, I'll be embarrassed. Like, for no reason, like, just, I don't like when anyone's around me when I make videos. So I have to wait for him to be gone like he is right now. He just left to go to the gym. So I was like, ooh, I'm going to jump on and I'm going to say hello to everybody now that we're back, and just, make a I'm back video. But yeah, I could only do it when he left. I can't do it when he's around or when he's home. So that's the other thing. Like, I can only make videos if he's not home. So starting Monday, he'll be back to work. So he'll be gone. So I can start back up with the videos again. It's interesting too. I wanted to tell you more about my trip. I should have made notes. So I'm trying to pull these things out of my head as I remember them. But being in the airports, I started to realize a lot of the trends, fashion-wise, that are going around. Because I'm in this little bubble all the time out here in Arizona. Like I said, I don't have any friends out here. And I really don't have anywhere I go other than my son's house when he needs me. Kids. And so I don't really get out to see what is going on in the world. But being in the airports and just being out, I realized, some of the trends that women wear. And I felt like the odd duck, I felt like I'm still living back in the 80s a little bit. I guess everybody has their own fashion trends and sense, and they wear what they feel comfortable in, which is me. I mean, I wear pretty much what I feel comfortable with. But, just the way people dress, I started seeing like, oh, okay, so I guess that's a trend, or, oh, I guess that's a trend. And even hairstyles, like I just observe everything. And I observed a lot of the people around me. And it was just interesting. And, I will tell you that I did not realize the young people, younger than I would have imagined, that are just sharing everything on social media. Like I said, we spent a lot of time with family, and so I got to see like how the kids are nowadays, and everything is documented on social media. Like everything. You buy a little gadget from the store, it has to be made into a TikTok, the reveal. It's like, I laughed because I was like, wow, social media plays such a huge role in society and in people's lives. And, I mean, I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on TikTok. I don't do any of that. Obviously, I'm here on YouTube. And I do have a profile on Instagram just for my own reason. I might as well just get it out there now because I didn't share this yet on this channel. But I also deal with parental alienation. I have 2 other children. And me and my son, my oldest son, have not seen them in 10 years. It's been 10 years now. And it's because their father, my ex-husband, he was really, I guess, butthurt. I guess that's one of the words. I don't know if it's still a word that people use. I don't know. Who cares? Anyway, he was a little butthurt when I had to file for divorce. And trust me, there were absolute reasons for filing for divorce. I mean, I didn't just say, oh, I'm not happy, and, off I go. It was not like that at all. There were legitimate reasons for the separation. But because of that, and because he had all the support behind him and financial means behind him, long story short, he ended up getting away with keeping me and my son away from my two children, my two younger children. So altogether, I have 3 children. And so, yes, 2 of them I do not have a relationship with yet. But I did find out some information about them through sources and people. And so I thought I would make an Instagram profile so that if they ever do go online, because kids are on social media, if they ever do try to reach out and look for us, they can look no further than Instagram, because I put the picture of me and my oldest son on my profile picture, and then of course my name. So you never know. I pray all the time about it, and I hope that one day we will all reunite again. It's a long, complicated situation, long, complicated story. But the only thing I can tell you to try to understand it is to just do your research on parental alienation, because I'm not the only one going through it. It's everywhere. It happens. And it's a really sad, painful situation to deal with. But that's another thing that I have been dealing with in my life, and one of the other reasons that brought me closer to God, because I know that God is the source of everything, and God is our comfort. He's our healer. He's our redeemer. He restores. So, I've given it to God, basically, that whole situation. Because what else am I going to do? I'm not a fighter, and I'm not the kind of person to keep going in and out of court, even if I were to file my own stuff. It's like I choose peace and I trust God. And I know that one day, me and my older son, who lives out here by us, we will be reunited. But that's one of the things that happened during our trip. I found out without even looking for it. It came to me, basically, the information. But I found out a little bit more about their lives. And so you never know. You never know. So that was something that came out of our vacation. And then what else? I don't know, just being back home and seeing my friends, and it was just a really nice getaway that was much needed. And answered prayers, because I do pray for my friends. I tell God for, I may not always use a specific name, because sometimes my brain just glitches and I can't think. But I do say, like, my friends, my family, my loved ones in my prayer. And one of the things I pray for is that my loved ones and my friends and my family grow closer to God, because that's ultimately the most important thing on this earth in our lives, is to have a relationship with the Lord. And I learned that some people are going to church now. And I was like, thank you, God. Thank you, God. So it's always important to remember what you pray for. That way, when God answers those prayers, you can look back and be like, I asked for this. I prayed for this. And he did it. Of course he will, And so that was another cool part of our trip. I learned that some of my friends are going to church now. And I learned also who aren't my friends. I just learned a lot during this trip, because we've been away from home for 3 years now. And so the people that really reached out and that really followed through on visiting with us and me visiting with them, I feel are my true tribe of people. And the ones that kind of were like, yeah, it'd be great to see each other. And then it just, dwindled. I'm like, okay, God showing me like who my friends are. Because, with autism, it's hard for me to even understand how to manage and maintain friendships because I don't always know what to do. I don't know if I'm oversharing. I don't know if I'm undersharing. I don't know if I'm being neglectful. I don't know if I'm being overbearing. So it's really hard to like gauge how to maintain a friendship. So, but the people that I saw while I was home, they understand me and they love me for who I am. And likewise. And it's just makes me miss home all the more because I need them in my life. I want to be able to visit with them and hang out with them, on a regular basis. And because I miss them so much. And being out here, it's hard. It's not, it's completely, way across the country. So it's not like I can just hop in my car and drive to their house. It's like, no, I'm out in the desert. I'm like stranded around the cactuses right now. Like, I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling right now. I'm kind of like, my brain is in the mode of coming off vacation and going back to normal life. So I'm kind of like slowly stepping into this transition because with autism, it's hard for me to just bounce around and be present with every little thing that, changes in my life. It takes me a hot minute to transition into anything different. Let me tell you this. So the first part of our trip, we did a little vacation rental in Venice Beach. And that's when the whole family came and stayed with us. And it was this is all me, by the way. This has nothing to do with anybody else because they're all normal. I'm the one that has the neurodivergency and all the things that go along with it. But checkout was at 10 a.m. on our last day. And I tell you, it was like 9:30 and there were still kids sleeping unpacked. So I'm like looking at the time. I don't wear a watch, but like I was just looking and I was like, we got to do this. We got to do that. Everything has to be, we got to clean up that. We got to do this. We got to, cause the host left a little laminated paper next to the front door about checkout and things that are expected of us. And so I was like, okay, we got to do this. We got to do that. And it was like, there was no sense of urgency. And I was just in my brain freaking out. And that's when I kind of like withdrew and I sat down at the table and I discovered an energy drink called Alani. I went to Walmart yesterday and bought a 12-pack. The flavors are absolutely phenomenal. And so I sat there at the table with my Alani and my phone, and I was just like trying so hard to keep it together because all I wanted to do was get up and just start cleaning and start packing everything for everyone and like just trying to get out at the right time because time's a ticking, like 10 o'clock's coming. Like, so then my husband decides at 20 to 10 to start cooking a big breakfast. And mind you, we have to put everything in the dishwasher before we leave and clean up our messes. And so I'm just freaking out at this stage. I'm like, do people not realize what time it is? Am I the only one over here like with a sense of urgency? Because who knows? I didn't know if the host was going to be showing up at 10 o'clock. I didn't know if a cleaning company was going to be showing up at 10 o'clock. I didn't know what was going to happen at 10 o'clock. All I knew is we had to be out the door at 10 o'clock. And so my OCD kicked in a lot during this trip because, it's just, that's what happens. Like I wouldn't say I'm uptight or I'm, well, some people would, But I just have this, my OCD gets real strong whenever there's a change going on, especially like a vacation. My OCD is very like, this is, I can't just loosen up and just be like, well, I can in some, like on the beach. Guys, the beach was just absolutely amazing. I felt so at peace and so relaxed at the beach. I wish I could feel that way all the time. And the cool thing about the beach, the first time we went, was when we got on the beach is when we realized that we were in the section of the strip of beach that you were allowed to bring your dog. So we were surrounded by little and big and all kinds of different dogs. And they were all so well behaved. You could tell they were used to doing this. And I look over, I'm sitting in my chair just looking out at the water, and I look over and there's a dog sitting right next to me looking out at the water too. And I looked at him and I was like, well, hello. And he just sat there, just calm as a cucumber, just looking at the water. And I was like, how are you doing, buddy? Like, hey. And he just scampered off. But it was so cool to just be surrounded by dogs at the beach. I mean, come on, you guys. Dogs, beach, these are good things to be surrounded with. So that was cool. But other than that, it was just a really good, overall good trip. It was much needed. And so now we're back to regular life, just trying to transition into that. And so, yeah, I just wanted to hop on and say hello and check in with you all and tell you a little bit about how it went, and to let you know what to look forward to this coming week as far as our Bible study and our book. I do have to get down to Barnes & Noble and check out more books of this author so I can get our next book ready, because we're more than halfway through the Way of the Warrior. So I have to get cracking and go down and get the next book that we're going to read. So I haven't heard anybody any comments on the videos of the book reads that don't like the author, so I take that as an okay. I take that as the green light to find a new book of the same author and see what it's all about. So with all that being said, I'll let you go. I'm almost at a half an hour of talking to you. And so, okay. Oh, today is Saturday, and I am going to, I don't know what I'm going to do today, to be honest with you. My husband's at the gym, so I don't know what his plan is for the day. But actually, we're probably going to have to do the very fun grocery shopping trip, because when we left, we made sure that we didn't have very much in the fridge because we were going to be gone. So we're probably going to have to go and do that today. But stay tuned for this coming week. We're going to start the book of Ruth, and we're going to continue with our book read, The Way of the Warrior. So with all that being said, I'm really going to let you go now. I'm going to finish my coffee, actually transition it to a different mug because this is not microwave safe because it's cold now. So I have to transition it to a different mug so I can heat it up and finish my coffee and just start the day. So I hope you all have a great day. I hope you all have a great weekend. And I wish you all peace and love. And until next time, have a good day. Bye.